Hey everybody, Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at NAMM 2013 at the Line 6 booth talking to Sean, who's showing us the latest guitar in the Variax series. Sean, tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is the JTV-89F. It's the newest model. Basically, it has a Floyd Rose licensed tremolo system made by Graphtec. So it has a locking nut and a traditional locking tremolo system. So if you think about the traditional limitations of a locking trem guitar, as soon as you lock down that nut, there's no way to retune it at all. And because the James Taylor Variax has the ability to retune itself on a switch-by-switch basis, you can go from drop D to drop B flat with a turn of a knob. This is the only locking tremolo guitar on the planet that can do that. So it has the same features as the rest of the JTV line. So it has 29 different models of acoustics, electrics, dobros, banjos, that kind of stuff. It has the ability to retune itself, so you can get a great acoustic guitar sound live or in the studio without having to actually mic one. So in terms of the guitar, this is certainly the first James Taylor Variax of a modern bent with a trem. So because you have such a nice locking sort of traditional situation, you can really sort of bend the hell out of the bar and it'll actually stay in tune.
Now, was part of the hold up, I guess, with having a Floyd on it or a tremolo, just the fact that altering the pitch was difficult to track, sort of similar with synth systems, or it was mainly just...
No, I mean, all the other Variaxes do that, so they all track pitches and things like that. I think part of the thing was you're trying to decide whether or not you're going to design your bridge yourself or whether or not you're going to use one from a third party. For instance, on the 69 and the 59, James and I think Line 6 as well were unhappy with existing designs for Strat-style bridges and for fixed bridges, so we made our own. But I think when it came to this, it was sort of decide whether or not you make your own Floyd or whether or not you use a robust and sort of,
Go with a classic.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, there really wasn't a lot of good piezo Strat-style bridges, when we were making the 69, but I think this is certainly a tried and true design for more of a modern rocker guitar, so I think that's why we went with that.
Okay, so just to recap the other specs, it's got a mahogany body.
Yes, a mahogany body, maybe like with a rosewood board. Basically, you've got traditional sealed tuners. You've got custom-made humbucker pickups on this guitar. So this guitar also has, along with the 29 models that the other members of the line have, this guy also has a custom high-gain model that more closely matches the magnetic pickups. So you can sort of do some turning on and off of the Variax stuff and hopefully have more of a matching kind of a sound. Basically, what we wanted to do was provide not necessarily a model of some other pre-existing guitar. We wanted to find one that sort of felt closer to the pickups that were actually in this guitar, so that when you switched from magnetic to Variax mode, you would have very little change in what was actually going on sonically.
Okay, well, let's hear a few different things out of that.
Yeah, so you've got the guitar has the same ability as all the other guitars do. So if you decide that you want to, let's say you're going to go into rock mode, and you're going to be a rock guy. Now, because the guitar is locked down, if I was only using the magnetic pickups, there's no way I could ever sort of retune this. But on this guitar, now I'm in drop C.
So you don't have to worry about any of those tension issues.
Exactly. So you're talking about a string that's now tuned down to basically C, but it's still the normal size string that a 10 set would have, and I haven't had to move the saddle, and I haven't had to do, sorry about that, I haven't had to do anything that you would normally have to do to set up a guitar like this, and not only that, I can switch back. So if you're playing an acoustic sound, for instance, so if you're, being able to retune an acoustic guitar at the same time you're retuning an electric guitar, at the same time you're retuning Les Paul style, Stratocaster style, or whatever, for a live musician, it changes the world in terms of what you're able to cover.
Like a lot of people do double takes in the crowd.
There is something very odd about watching, a rock guy going, yeah, and then all of a sudden he's very delicate. So there's definitely something about that, but it is something where I'm sure we've all seen bands. Guy comes out, rocks really hard, and then reaches over that acoustic sitting on the stand, to guess what, I'm emoting now, watch me emote, and then he has to stand back. So this way he doesn't have to do it. And one of the nice things about a Variax in general is that once you get used to the neck shape and you get used to the string tension and you get used to the radius and all that kind of stuff, you just play the guitar. So all your guitars sound the same.
You have to adjust your playing or your technique.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a guy who uses very big strings. So our guitars come loaded with 10s on them. I normally string them with 11s, and once you get that down, the sounds of a traditional Telecaster inspired guitar or Stratocaster inspired guitar, they play the same. So you learn the guitar, you learn the actual physical part of it, and then all of a sudden, you rock a dobro. So you're like, okay, you know what? I wonder if I could get a banjo. So if whatever you've got, dobro. So whatever you've got, acoustic guitars, all your guitars, 12 strings.
You mentioned the high gain new model that's on this. Is that what we heard at the very first sample, or?
No, I think that one. Now this is an alpha guitar, or a beta guitar rather. So I mean we're shipping now, but the one I have is actually early. So I think it's in here. Let me see. It is.
Now, can we hear that contrasted with just the magnetic pickups?
So here's that's modeling. So
very close.
That's pretty darn close. Yeah. So I think if you're in a situation where one of the great things about the Variax is that you'll never sort of be hung out to dry at a gig. So it's a 12-hour battery, right? So it actually traditional 12-hour battery, and you can actually tell right there from the indicator how much time you have left. So each light basically represents about 3 hours. But even were this guitar to not have a battery in it at all, if I put it away, it's still a guitar. So even if you only want to use the modeling for special occasions, interesting sounds in a song, it's not like you have to live in modeling land if you don't want to. So.
And one other interesting thing we should note is that this whole time we've been hearing this going through a Pod HD 500 down here, and you have presets that are specifically tailored to be reproduced through this Stage Source PA speaker that we've got mic'd up here, right?
Exactly. So this is our brand new L2, so it's the little brother of the L3. It has all the same capabilities that the big brother has, so it has the same ability to sort of tune the speaker. It has the ability to sort of change modes. We have complete control over time alignment of all the components, so we can do things like aim audio differently depending on what mode it's in. It can emulate, a power amp and a 212 cabinet for guitar, all sorts of different stuff. So the difference between it and its larger brother is simply that it doesn't have an extra low-frequency driver. And it's
got one low-frequency driver and a tweeter, and that's it?
Exactly. So you've got 800 watts in this guy, which is a lot of power for a small enclosure like that. And then obviously its big brother is 1,400 watts. But if you think about a speaker like this, with the forward-thinking move towards sort of FR types of rigs where you've got flat response, full-range speakers guys are using. Traditionally when you're trying to amplify an acoustic guitar live, it sounds pretty terrible through a guitar amp. It's not designed to, and then conversely, a lot of times electric guitars can sound pretty terrible coming through acoustic full range kind of reproduction. So what's great about this is running these speakers full range, I have the pod do all of my speaker modeling, all of my microphone, all that kind of stuff. And when I play acoustic sounds, they just come right out of the pod with no amp modeling. So it's the best of both worlds. You get an acoustic sound that's lovely. And I still can go over and be metal guy. Never play while leaning this way, by the way. I'm biting it pretty hard right now, so I should be playing this way. But anyway, the idea behind the speaker is if you're, because of the way we built the PA system, you can add pieces a la carte and continue to grow your system. So you need it stereo, you buy another one. You got one digital cable connects the two, and all of a sudden you're stereo. You don't have to configure anything. So you want more, you buy more, and basically you can build up to a 10,000 watt system using individual pieces. And the nice thing is that it is the only system in the world where you can take a system that big and still rip out one part and play a wedding. When you think about a traditional 10,000 watt PA, I'm gonna take the board and one speaker and play Wedding. No, you're not going to, right? So, this system allows you to sort of use it for guitars, use it as a PA, do both. The speaker actually has a 2-channel mixer built right into it. Mic pre's, it has digital effects built in, it has Variax acoustic modeling built right in. So as anything from a guitar rig to a coffee house kind of thing, it's pretty brutal.
Very cool. Now, where can people go to find out more about this stuff online, especially the new Floyd-equipped guitar?
Absolutely. So line6.com, the general URL for the guitars is line6.com.guitars or /guitars. You can also do, the easiest thing to do is just go to line6.com because it's NAMM right now. You got a splash page up there with a really pretty shot of this that doesn't have fingerprints. Doesn't look like someone took Vaseline and touched the guitar. So,
we won't go there.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think we need to go there. But the point is, you can find that on the web. It's fine. And there's also pictures of the PA stuff too. You click on the picture. It's like ordering a burger at McDonald's. PA.
Cool. Thanks, Sean.
Absolutely.
I'm Sean Hammond with Premier Guitar. Subscribe right here to all of our NAMM videos.